times are so close around here. There's a choice of a zero tyre, which is a soft option, and a one tyre, which is the medium option. And we've done all our work really on the medium tyre, knowing that it's hard on tyres, thinking that the zero wouldn't go. But so the first time we had a zero in the bike was for Q2. Managed to do my fastest ever lap around here, 15.5, so that was good. Put us in good shape for Q3, went out, and the tyre that we chose just didn't seem to have the same amount of grip as the one we had for Q1 and Q2, so bit of a shame. Ended up 9th because of it, 3rd row. I was hoping we could get top 5, so 1st or 2nd row, but we can still do something from there, I'm sure. It's not a track where I've had the best of luck in the past. I've finished 5 races out of the last 12 here, not necessarily through any fault of my own, just things haven't gone my way. Really enjoy the track. It's one of the fastest tracks of the year. You see the bigger, stronger riders tend to go well here because it's quite, the change of direction down the back are really fast. It's very physical. We've got fast bikes, we've got no excuses, and just grip is a big thing. Making the tyre last and getting grip and support so the bike's stable.
He's pacing, I think he was 2nd in Q1, 4th in Q2. And to be fair, the pace fell away in Q3. There was an issue with rear tyre grip, and not one that we consistently get or have had this weekend. So I know that his real pace on a race tyre will be good, and knowing Chris's stalker starts, I think he'll swallow a row up straight off when the lights go out. So we're hoping that he can still achieve some great results here. Podium's possible here for Chris. He'll have to ride very well to do that, but I think as a package, has not probably shown too well in Q3. I think we've got the ability to be at the front and to race in front of the cameras.
He gets off onto the grass and has a massive off. That's got to be, and that isn't over, you know.
James is recovering well, in a nutshell. He had a successful operation the day after his big fall at Brands Hatch. His fitness, his physical strength, and his well-being is all in the right place. And when you have such a big trauma, such as a broken kneecap, you know, he had a big split in the top of his knee, and then, you know, a femur break. You know, when you're in that place, you can actually bounce back from that mentally and physically. I'm very confident that he'll be back fit and well to ride in races before the showdown, but in reality, whether or not that's Cadwell or Donington, we're not quite sure yet, and we just have to measure his safe recovery until that point.
What a racing prospect, 20 laps ahead of him as Kuba Smuts. No, he doesn't get the start, he gets an awful start. Oh no, Kuba gets sucked back into the pack straight away. Onto the 5th lap of 20 then. 4 laps complete in this hectic start to proceedings at Thruxton. Linfoot, Brooks, Byrne, Rutter, Walker, Smertz now up to 6th place. Rutter being attacked by Chris Walker. Chris Walker, this is his 270th British Superbike race.
Yeah, good ride by Chris Walker, you just mentioned it. He's now passed into 4th, he's past Rutter.
Chris Walker there, 270th BSB race. Right behind him the 3-time champion Chianari. Build-based BMW, and then it's Tommy Bridewell just opening up a little gap now onto that bunch headed by Michael Rutter. Tommy Bridewell tucked in behind Chris Walker and looking keen to find a way past the stalker here. This is the battle for 4th place. This is Tommy Bridewell ahead of Chris Walker, so Walker in 6th place now. Rutter still there right behind him. And it's shaky Byrne as it comes across the line after a huge moment for Yuichi Chianari coming out of the final chicane. 5th for Bridewell, 6th for Jakob Kuba Smertz after a nightmare start. He rescues a brilliant result for the Millsport Ducati team ahead of Walker.
What's the biggest nightmare you have over a race weekend? Is it when one of the bikes gets smashed up?
Yeah, that's obviously, you never want any incidents involving your own riders, let alone other riders. And a lot of the times it can be out of your own hands. So, yeah, we come to score points, and that's what we have to do consistently to be running at the front, and we need to make the showdown. So, any sort of incident on the bike, even a mechanical, is not good.
The format for the Superbike rules, which changed in 2012, it's a real good format that it took all the electronic aids away, like anti-wheelie, traction control, so a lot of it is down to the rider's skill, and for me that brought the field a lot closer than previous years, which is a massive bonus for the race fans and everyone involved, really.
I just love the atmosphere. It's so exciting to be here. I've watched BSB for years and years, just like a lot of you have. So to actually come along and be a part of a team, it's just really exciting. And as I say, the people are great, the atmosphere is great, and it's just good to be part of something like this.
One of the things I do normally say is that on behalf of our, many of you are here either as sponsors or suppliers or supporters, or their guests. So I just want to say thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate you coming along today. I hope later on in the day or throughout the day you're going to be entertained well and you're going to see some great racing. So enjoy the rest of the day.
Thruxton awaits British Superbikes Race 2 2014. Great start by Shaky Byrne. He just absolutely creams it through Allard's. Chris Walker hanging menacingly in 4th place because of course he's just 2 points ahead of Dan Linfoot in that critical battle for a top 6 showdown spot.
Chianari's on the move though.
Chianari comes up the inside of Chris Walker and looks as if he might have just danced through as Shaky Byrne does the same and grabs the lead back. Chianari moves through to 4th place. The safety car is out because of Bridewell's blow up, we think, on the approach to the chicanes. So there's a long line of oil from Tommy Bridewell's Yamaha. The red flag has gone out here at Thruxton, and that presumably, James Whittam, will be a complete rerun of race 2. 15 laps ahead of them, and another brilliant start by Shaky Byrne. How well has he got those starts together? Chianari tries to go the long way around the outside. Walker gets underneath Josh Brooks and annexes 3rd place, so Josh does not get the start that he wants. The 2 Kawasaki's, 3 Kawasaki's running at the front. Here comes Josh Brooks trying to get down the inside of Chris Walker. He's going to squeeze through. Oh, and he has to run a bit wide, but Walker has no option but to go with him. And here's come Chris Walker. Was thinking about having a go back at Josh Brooks. He does get underneath him, I think, into the club chicane. And you could see that coming from a long way back. The Kawasaki had the legs.
He did.
And he once again tries to get alongside. Walker switches to the right-hand side, got the double bubble there. Chianari's looking to get underneath Josh Brooks. I think he might.
Nasty.
Brooks looks round in some surprise. And that was, look at Brooks getting the outside of Linfoot. Linfoot squeezed back to 4th place. Brooks disturbing the Rooks as Linfoot tries to get back up the inside, and Walker refuses to yield. He's got the good defensive line. Brooks gets on the outside and chops his way through on the inside of the chicane, and it works.
It does, and it was a block pass, but it was a fairly clean one for that. It was.
Dan Linfoot has the inside line through Allard's. That was the result of Walker just getting his progress kind of stulted as he went. Is that a word?
Well,
as he went through the chicane.
Brooks had to slow himself down a lot too much and kind of held Walker up mid-corner.
Victory for Josh Brooks. Milwaukee Yamaha does the double ahead of Shaky Byrne and Yuichi Chianari. Dan Linfoot, another very fine 4th. Chris Walker crosses the line in 5th.
The top guys, they're wheeling out a bike that they've raced here for the last 2 or 3 years. We've probably got our bike to the best possible place right at the end of the weekend, and no doubt I feel quite confident if we would go out for race 3 now, we'd have better form again. So it's a story of that, really. What tends to happen is when you turn up at a circuit like this, you haven't raced before, it's the top teams are always going to stretch you, and that's what they've done, and it is that little bit that we're looking for. Important part, we should be back near the front and scrapping out and defending our showdown position.
Everybody's been having a bit of good and bad luck. We've had our bad luck, and fingers crossed we won't get too much more. You know, I think there's 3 or 4 guys capable of getting those last 5 or 6, the 5th or 6th spot in the showdown, and I'm one of them. But it's not a foregone conclusion, so we've got to dig in and try hard and get the most out of the next few races.